The Grouping Tools screen is a powerful tool that allows for the easy division of selected fixtures into various subsets. It's really useful when you're creating fixture groups because it allows you to quickly grab patterns of fixtures to be able to manipulate and make some really creative looks really fast with your lighting. Let me show you how this works. First thing we're going to do is either find it at the top of the group window. We can also find the Grouping Tools masks at the bottom of the grouping window and access it from there. We can find it over here in the Compose workspace under the 2D plan window at the top, and it's also accessible as a sidebar button and in the effects engine, which we'll cover a little bit later. Now, I'm going to stick here in the 2D plan view so I can show you live on the screen how this works. Let's go ahead and select some fixtures. We'll select our quantum washes. We can see here that we've got 12 units selected within our 2D view. Let's pop open the grouping tools. Perfect. Now we'll go ahead and press every 2. We can now see that every other fixture is selected. You can tell that by the brighter green or red for the last fixture. If I then go on my command keypad and press next or last, I'm able to grab the other half of the selection. We already went over how you can hit record and record a group with the Grouping Tools mask embedded inside of that. And this is really powerful for when you go to create cues a little bit later. Let me show you some of the other grouping tools and how they work. Block is going to select your fixtures in groups. You can see here we've selected the first 2 fixtures, and as we hit next, we get to the second 2, so 3 and 4, fixtures 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is a good opportunity to show you that the mask value is how many fixtures are basically affected by the filter that you're using. So in every 2, it's every other fixture. But if we increase that to every 3, it's now every 3rd fixture, every 4th, every 5th, etc. Let's cut it back to every 2. This works with block as well. Divide is powerful because it divides your rig into 2. We can see here with the way this rig is laid out that we've now gotten the back units on these finger trusses. And if we hit next, we'll now get our front units because we divided our total fixtures by 2. Mirror is another powerful one because it allows you to grab mirrored selection and work with opposite sides of your lighting rig at the same time. As I hit next or last, the selection moves towards the center. What if I do mirror with 4? As you can see now, because I've got 12 fixtures and 6 per row, if I mirror per 4, I now get the 4 end units, and as I hit next, it then moves towards the center. This is going to be really useful later when we go to create some effects, and I'm going to show you how to use the grouping tools with the effects engine there. The last mode of the grouping tools is by group. This is really powerful if you select multiple groups and then enter in the grouping tools. So, for example, if I selected these Rush MH6s, and then the LED grid, and then the quantum profile, and then the quantum wash, went into grouping, hit by group. Now as I hit next or last, it jumps through those groups in the order that I selected them in. This is also really powerful when you're creating effects. Down here at the bottom, we've got a couple options. First is the fan and effects. The fan and effects control applies your grouping tool when you're fanning. So instead of being for selection, it's now going to fan parameters through the grouping tools. We'll cover that in the video on fan. At the bottom of the grouping tools, there is the actions. Now, the actions are a way to modify the modes at the top of the grouping tools and really do some complex stuff. So you can revert to go back where you were. We'll touch on that in a minute. You can invert, which is going to select exactly the opposite of what you had. Let me show you an example. I'll hit clear twice to clear my programmer and bring up those quantum washes again. We'll go here to every 2, When I press invert, it's going to invert the selected and deselected fixtures in the program. Invert mask, on the other hand, is going to give you the opposite of what you have presently selected with the mask. Random is going to randomize your selection order, which is really fun when creating effects. Reverse is going to flip that selection order. And sort is going to put everything back in its order when you've messed it up from random or reverse and want to get it back. As we briefly covered in the groups video, you can also pre-select masks and build your own masks in the mask directory. This makes it easy to simply select some fixtures, go to the grouping tools, click one of the masks, say every 4 or divide by 8, and you're able to quickly and easily choose from a number of the pre-selected masks and watch what they do inside of the software. The best way to learn and grow strong with the grouping tools is to play around with it when you've got a minute. Remember to use the Martin Show Designer demo software that works with the demo show file inside of MPC.